as you do what we say. Don't hurt them, I'm coming. On the table, that was my half of the deal. In the briefcase, now we need 2 million We know who you're working for. Just say the word and MI5 break down the door. Don't trust him, he's bluffing. On the table, that was my half of the deal. In the briefcase, now we need 2 million more. The sky is falling. Here come the angels dressed in black. It's not quite clear who will live and who shall on the table, that was my half of the deal. In the briefcase, now we need 2 million more. On the table, that was my half of the deal. In the briefcase, now we need 2 million more.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another live stream Saturday. And I can see you all in the live chat room already. I hope you guys have had a great weekend so far. Even though it's only just started, it's Saturday night, actually it's Sunday morning here, but I think it's only just started for most of you. Wherever you are in the world, especially over in the USA, I know that you guys are behind where I am. It's not even Sunday there yet, but let me get you guys up on screen to see who we have in the live chat room tonight. And we have Bonnie and Laurie and Squeaky79, Anna, Tom, Howard, Arden, Charlie, Tammy, was that Sean as well, Terry, Sam. And going through too quickly there for me to keep a track of everybody. But hello, thank you for joining me tonight. And let me see if I can get everything up on screen as we normally do. The names of my patrons, and it started first time on this live stream, which is amazing. Usually it takes 3 clicks for that to go in the right order, but great start. So thank you guys. You know who you are, my patrons who make this all possible, this live stream, every single video that I do on the channel, and just basically everything ever. So thank you guys so much for all of your support over there, patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus, and that's where the suggestions and requests come from for the live streams. So we currently have a vote. I always forget to mention the vote for the covers, so I'm going to do that at the beginning. We have a vote going on between Parisian Walkways and I Just Died in Your Arms. So those two songs, my version of those two songs, we're going to be having a listen to one of those later, depending on which one wins the vote. So, or the poll, I just call it a vote. But it looks like I Just Died in Your Arms has 53%, but we'll keep an eye on that as we progress. So, let's jump into how many likes we're looking for tonight. I think last week we had the reset, so we are at 305 likes. That's what we're aiming for with tonight's live stream, and if we do manage to hit that target, then we have a pick roulette later. Well, it'll be next week, but we do have a pick roulette later tonight. But if we hit the goal, that's how we have the pick roulette. So we're aiming for 305. So if you can leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be massively appreciated. And we'll see where we end up. Let's see where we are at the moment. And almost perfect timing for the 200, so 199 so far. Thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. If you can keep on doing that, that would be massively appreciated. What else do we have to get up on screen? Oh, I always say that you don't have to donate. Just watching the live streams or interacting with the channel is fantastic. And maybe hitting the thumbs up, leaving a comment, that kind of stuff. But if you can't resist or the temptation, or you can't stop yourself from donating, then just so you know that 35 to 45% goes to YouTube through the Super Chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal. And you can find a PayPal link in the description below. But as I said, you don't have to donate. Just joining me is great. So, eventful week, this one, because earlier in the week you might see the thumbnail for this particular live stream where you might recognize me, you might recognize the person that I'm with, and this was all made possible by Steve Stevens, who has been on the channel. We did a few videos together and he invited me down to the Billy Idol show, and of course, having that thumbnail, you can see that I was there. I did get to chat with Billy and then Steve as well. There's another picture. I'll show you some pictures maybe a little bit later on, depending on how the live stream goes. But yeah, that was a fantastic night, and it was great because, Steve organised it all for me to go down there. And I did mention over on Patreon how Steve, after the show, because I got to talk to him and Billy after the show, he said that he was worried before the show that I wasn't going to make it and that I wasn't going to turn up because I was running a little bit late, and I'm not sure whether he necessarily knew that I was running late or hadn't seen that I'd arrived. So I said over on Patreon that it really is the measure of the man that he's worrying about me being there when he's playing at Wembley Arena. So yes, I did make it down there, and it's great to actually meet him in person and just have a quick chat as well. But as you can imagine, it's a really busy time, especially with a show the size of Wembley Arena. It's just something that I'm very conscious of, taking up too much time and just leaving the guys to do what they need to do. And obviously they've got lots of people that they want to interact with afterwards as well. And it was great because I was in the section which was really just family, and we had Billy's sister there, and Steve's friends that were kind of sitting close as well. So I was all part of that group, so it was great to be included in that, and a huge thank you to Steve for inviting me down, but also just Steve and Billy for being so cool about it. And Billy did say that he recognized me from the channel because he'd seen the channel, he's seen a few videos, so it's always amazing. And I do say that you never know who is watching, so you guys obviously are watching the videos, but it's great to know that other people and professional musicians are watching the channel as well. And there might be a particular analysis video where I'll be focusing on a singer that might have inspired them, and then they tune in and watch whatever I have to say about that particular vocalist or guitarist, if it is a guitarist that I'm analysing. So it's great to get that kind of feedback from people like Billy and Steve, that they do watch the channel, which is great. And I think it's something that gives the channel a little bit more credibility, maybe, because we do have professional musicians watching quite regularly. And I mean, professional musicians, not only those that are quite well known, but other, session players, and we've had classical singers as well who have, come in and commented depending on the video and whatever I've been analysing on that particular evening. So yeah, it's great to get that kind of feedback. But thank you guys for watching and subscribing. And when I say about subscribing, we have just passed 277,000 subscribers. So thank you guys for hitting that subscribe button and hitting the notification bell as well, so that you get notified for all of the videos. And that's something that I did try to do on Wednesday, was go live from Wembley Arena, but I was a little bit late because, unfortunately, as is always the case in London, it was particularly bad on Wednesday, but the traffic was really bad trying to get into London. So yes, I took a little bit longer, and probably why Steve was a bit worried about me actually getting there. But I did make it in time. I was probably actually only about 20 minutes before Billy came out on stage. So I was cutting it a bit fine, but I made it in the end. So there we have it. Yes, 277,000 subscribers. But as I always say, crazy number, but we'll just keep on pushing forward and see where we end up, because we're just going to keep on doing what we do on the channel. Sometimes we have these little excursions that are really interesting, and just great opportunities to get out there and interact with other musicians. So yes, I did try to go live just briefly, but I think once I was in the venue, I'm very conscious of recording in a venue, because I know that certainly security are looking out for people using their cameras and all that kind of stuff, especially if it's video and doing a live stream from inside Wembley Arena. I'm sure, it would have been a little bit risky to do that anyway. So I just did something quickly from outside, and because I was pressed for time, it meant that I had to get in there and get everything organised. But fortunately, Steve had really organised everything for me really well. So a big shout out to Steve Stevens for organising that for me. Right, I tell you what, we will, first of all, just address some of the donations that came in before we went live, and then we'll jump into just a few pictures that I have from the night, including the thumbnail that you can see, but the picture that I had with Steve. And I should probably put those on Instagram. I'm not a big Instagrammer, but I might try and do that either later tonight or tomorrow, just to update that page over there. And that's Wings of Pegasus Official, if you guys want to know the Instagram account. But I'm going to have to try and find some time to do that a little bit more regularly. But when I do go out for an event, it's a little bit easier. It would have been a lot better, I think, to have somebody else holding the camera and taking the pictures, but I just had to do it at arm's length, because unfortunately my sister, who came with me to the premiere that we had before, and that was the Fanny Band premiere for Right to Rock, and that was just a documentary that was on in the cinema, and I got invited down to the premiere for that. Anyway, long story short, I took my sister to that. She couldn't come with me, unfortunately, on Wednesday, so it meant that I did have a spare ticket, and a spare ticket and invitation to the after party with Steve and Billy, but it was just me, so I had to take the the pictures at arm's length, which was a bit of a pain. But the other thing was that Kevin, in the last live stream, said that he was going to be there for the gig on Wednesday night, and I said that I'll meet you there and it'll be fantastic, and we'll meet on the steps because I know Wembley Arena quite well. So anyway, it happened to be the case that Kevin was just joking in the live stream on Tuesday. So everyone that was saying, oh yeah, it'd be great if Kevin could meet you. And it would have been good because I did have a spare ticket and a spare, invitation to the after party. So I could have given that to Kevin. We could have done a Wings of Pegasus night out. And for the first time, actually have somebody in the live chat room join me on an event. And I've always said that it would be cool to do that in the future. But unfortunately, yes, Kevin wasn't there. And he let me know after the live stream, so a bit of a shame because my sister couldn't make it there either. So it was just me, but I wasn't going to miss out on it, so I just went down there and took some pictures at arm's length. So what I'm just going to jump into are the donations that came in before we went live. So thank you guys for those. And let me just get this up on screen so that I can see that it was Paul who donated $5. So thank you for that, Paul. And the message was 277,000 subscribers. Totally awesome. Everyone have fun tonight. Spike the likes, all y'all Orlando sidekick. So thank you for that, Paul. And of course, then we had a donation from Orlando for $2. And Orlando said, backing up Paul, spike the likes with lots of thumbs up. So thank you for that. And I'm just going to do a quick refresh of the screen so that we don't miss out any donations, just in case they do come through in between being offline and then being online. Sometimes, yeah, it's a bit of a pain with that timing, but I think we're pretty much okay. Right, so what I'm going to do now is maybe just jump into the pictures from Wednesday, and hopefully I will be able to find them on my screen. So we're going to get the background up on screen because we need that in order to look at the pictures. So first of all, we have this one from me, obviously, and this is from Wembley Arena when I just went in, like I said, maybe 15 or 20 minutes before they're about to start the show. So everything was cool, and that was actually in my first seat, but then the seating actually got a little bit mixed up because I think Josie, which is Steve's partner, maybe put the seats in the wrong place or put me in the middle of some other people who were there. But because it was all kind of friends and family, it was great because we could just sort out the seating, and yeah, it was very relaxed in the section that I was in. So yeah, I did manage to move actually a little bit closer to the stage. So that was me at the beginning of the night, and this was my view of the stage, and you can see that that's the section that I was in, very close to the stage, just off to the right. And I think this was right at the beginning of the performance. So there, you might not be able to see, it's a little bit small, but Billy is in the middle of the stage. It had a raised part at the back of the stage and this huge screen, which was great because they could show the images from the videos, especially the recent EP, and they did all the songs from that recent EP, by the way. So it was great to get a mix of the the modern songs, the new songs, and the classics that everyone's waiting to hear as well. So they did such a great mix. It's a great set. And yeah, with the new videos that you guys will know from YouTube, if you are Billy Idol fans, you'll know the videos, and they had those on the screen while they performed the songs. So yeah, really cool to have that on that huge screen. And oh, this was Steve in one of his little solo sections where, I mean, he was on fire, but this is just more dry ice and smoke than actually being on fire. So yeah, I mean, Steve, he's such a fantastic guitarist, and his technical ability on that fretboard is just amazing, but with different styles as well. He gets into his flamenco style of playing and also just shreds out in sections. So yeah, great mix of guitar technique and guitar ability as well, as you guys will know with Steve being on the channel previously. So that was just the solo section, and here we have myself and Billy after the show. And you can see that the ring that Billy has on is probably the biggest ring that I've ever seen in my life. But I just went for the original rock horns. But yeah, great that Billy, took a picture and said that he recognised me and all that kind of stuff. So huge thank you to Billy for taking the time for the picture. But we then have myself and Steve, and yeah, again, Steve is such a nice guy because he was, and I felt a little bit awkward because he was saying to Josie, his girlfriend, and people that were around about my channel and about what a fantastic guitarist I was. But this is like Steve Stevens, so it's like, yeah. Steve's pretty good, so even to have any kind of comment from that, like a guy from Steve, is just amazing. And yeah, I did feel a little bit self-conscious, but it just is a measure of the man that he's such a fantastic guy. So massive thank you to Steve for inviting me down on the night. And yeah, I'm sure that Steve will be on the channel again in the future, and I might reach out to Billy actually about doing a vocal analysis and maybe something with him on the channel, because I'm sure that you guys would really enjoy, chatting to Billy about his vocal techniques and the way that he approaches, especially touring. This is something that I'd love to pick his brains about, with touring as much as he is at the moment and how he manages his vocals, because it's all live vocals. He's not miming, he's not using backing tracks. So he's managing his vocals on a day-to-day basis in order to do these tours, and it'd be great to have a word with him about how he manages that. Obviously, he's going to be really busy at the moment in order to do that, but it'd be great to have a chat with Billy on the channel and do a vocal analysis and have the vocalist there as well, just to chat through different things about how they approach it. So yeah, it was great in order to just interact with the guys after the show, but to be invited in the first place. So thank you everyone for tuning in for this live stream. Those were the pictures, and thank you for tuning in on Wednesday night as well. It was a very quick live stream, but I did try to get some pictures, and those were them. So anyway, looking at our likeometer, I can see that we've already hit the target for next week's pick roulette. So thank you guys for that, and don't start typing anything yet, because the entries open at the end of tonight's live stream, but more accurately after the pick roulette that we're going to be having later on in the live stream. So stay tuned for that, because that will be happening later on. Now let me just jump into the donations that we have had over on PayPal, and the ones that came in before we went live. I always like to address these. So thank you for this donation that came in at 42 minutes past 3 on Friday afternoon from Nicole, and it was £12.39. So thank you for that, Nicole, and the message was: "Hello Phil, to you and everyone, my heart and support. I hope the week has brought you great musical meeting, fun and rock, kiss and cheers." So thank you for that, Nicole. And I'm just going to scroll up because Roderick donated £3 as well. So thank you for that, Roderick. And just scrolling up because actually there's a CD order that just came in earlier this evening from Joanne. So thank you, Joanne, for buying the album. I will get that packaged up and sent off. And by the way, if you have ordered a CD on the website recently, with everything that's been going on, with, going out on Wednesday and, being out and about, I have to catch up with a lot of the stuff that I'll probably be able to do on Monday. So if you've ordered a CD this week, it's going to take me a few days to get those sent off, because I still do all of that myself. But thank you, Joanne, for that CD order. And there was a donation that came through from Daniel, who donated £7.77. So thank you for that, Daniel. And the message is: "Hi Phil, appreciate your work, which I find very interesting and correct. Thanks and all the best, Daniel." So thank you for that donation, Daniel. Right, just going to scroll up because another one came through from Tammy, and this was for £10. So thank you for that, Tammy, and we might be able to get this up on screen so you guys can see it as well. And we're going to scroll down because we do have a message with this, and the message is: "Hi Phil, congratulations on hitting 277,000 subscribers. How do you define success?" So thank you for the question, Tammy. And I guess it's different for different people, of course, but my definition of success is achieving your goals or your goal. And my goal musically was just to be able to do it full time, to not have to have another job and just be able to do whatever it might be. I mean, teaching guitar was kind of getting halfway there, but when you're teaching guitar, you have to work out other people's songs, and you spend a lot of the time away from the lesson, but a lot of the time planning. Because say, for example, somebody wants to learn the guitar solo from November Rain, and you'd have to sit down and I'd listen to it and listen to everything that's going on, and then have to write out a tab if the kid wants to read the tab for it. And then we'll go through that in the lesson. And it's a very long process, just breaking down other people's solos and just teaching in general. I mean, I used to work on behalf of a shop, and that was on a Sunday. I think I did 13 lessons or maybe 14 lessons back to back, because that was a day where everybody was free, and especially the kids were free to have their guitar lessons on a Sunday. So it meant that I did 14 lessons, which would have been 7 hours without a break. It was literally half an hour, half an hour, half an hour, just one after the next until the end of the day. But that's just pretty much how I rolled. I'd try and cram as many people in as possible to earn as much money as possible. And back in those days, I was earning half of each lesson. So I wasn't making a lot of money per lesson, but if I could get lots of them all jammed in together and just do it in a day, then I could earn a decent amount of money for that day. And I would do that, I think maybe on a Wednesday I had a day off, something like that. So I'd do Monday, Tuesday, Thursday and Friday, but those were all after school. So I'd maybe start at 4:30 and go through till maybe 9, 9:30, and then lock up the shop, and I'd be the last one in there. So that's what I used to do teaching wise, but I didn't want to spend all of my time teaching. I really wanted to just do my music, record my album, and try and get it on my website and sell it and get enough people to like it so that I could do that full time. And it just evolved into what it is now, which is me still doing everything, and I think that's really important to me. So I would say that my goal, and I would class what I'm doing as me being successful. I consider myself a success at what I'm doing because it is full time. I'm not having to do a day job and then try and fit everything in the evening as I used to previously. So I would just say that I feel that I've been successful, or I am currently being successful, because that was my goal. And it wasn't my goal to have a huge house and have loads of fast cars and all that kind of stuff. I just wanted to make it a full-time thing. So, I'm sure that other people view success as something different, and, maybe they want to have really fast cars and mansions and, all these different things. But I'm not really particularly into that, as long as, I'm here and I can keep on interacting with you guys and, just keep doing the videos on the channel and keep answering your questions and do things like on Wednesday. That would have never happened if I hadn't have been relatively successful, because people like Billy Idol and Steve Stevens, I don't think they're going to watch YouTube channels that they don't think have some sort of credibility to them, or at least aren't talking about things that don't make sense to them. So it's great to have that kind of support on that side of things, but also I would consider that a success at what I'm doing for the audience that I'm getting, with you guys, being so well informed musically, but also I think, more often than not, the true fans of music who have been listening to music, and particular styles of music, for years and years and years and years, they might not be musicians, and a lot of you might not be musicians, but the ear gets used to listening to a lot of music. So whether you realize it or not, you will have a good ear for music, and you'll be able to tell what is, a good band, what's a great band, and the style of music that you like. You'll automatically just start to gravitate towards music that you see as being well executed and having, technical ability and all of these different things that we point out in the analysis videos. So, it's great just to be here with you guys, and I do, consider what I'm doing successful, and it's just because I've reached the goals that I wanted to achieve and the goals that I wanted to hit. So thank you for that, Tammy. A bit of a long answer to that question, but it is one of those that I could talk about probably all night. But thank you, Maria, as well, who has donated £1.70. So thank you for that. And just scrolling down, because the message is, "Hi Phil, just couldn't help myself, laugh out loud, spike those likes, everyone." So thank you for that, Maria. And by the way, if you can hit that thumbs up, it'd be much appreciated. I know that we have hit our likes goal for tonight, but let's just see where we can end up with tonight's live stream, because you guys watching in the future as well, every single thumbs up counts. So if you're part of that catch up crew, if you can hit that thumbs up, that would be great, because it really helps this live stream to get out there a little bit more, but for the channel to grow on the whole. And as I said, 277,000 so far. And it's just a crazy number when I say it. But yeah, we will keep on doing things as we do them. And if this is your first live stream, hello to you. Thank you for joining me on this Saturday night. We also live stream on Tuesday nights, and it's at 12 midnight. At the moment, British summertime is what you'll have to type in, or just type in time in London, England, and you'll be able to get the time that it is here, and it is 12:32 and 43 seconds to be exact. So it's 32 minutes past midnight already somehow. So these live streams seem to just pass really quickly, but that is the time here. And yeah, if you want to join in live, make sure that you figure out the time zones first. But let me just jump back into the PayPal donations window, because there has been another one in there. But yeah, I mean, anybody that is tuning in for the first time, hello, welcome. Just introduce yourself into the live chat room, because that's how we all start out, and we all get to know each other, and we get to know each other's usernames as well. You'll see Vince going through that live chat room, and Vince hosts the after party over on the Wings of Pegasus supporters group page, and that's over on Facebook. So if you are a Facebook user, you can head over there, join in with that group. Join in with the after party after the live streams, and that's where the pictures, if you've got any merchandise, the pictures, you can upload those, and then we'll show them on the live streams as well. Talking about merchandise, I haven't plugged any of the mugs yet, so let me just lean forward and grab this one, because we have the merchandise in the tray underneath this video, and there's a link in the description below as well, so you can click on that if you want to go through to the spring.com store and get your hands on any of the merch, the hoodies, the t-shirts, the caps, the mugs, actually necklaces and pics, all the other stuff that you can find at wingsofpegasus.com as well, the merchandise that Carla does. So head over there for pics and guitar related stuff, and for the clothing, just go to spring.com and you can click on anything, as I said, in the tray underneath this video. And I usually do a plug of the mug when Orlando donates or when Paul donates, but we didn't do that at the beginning, but we've done it now, so it is fine. And by the way, I just died in your arms at 53% of the vote so far. So if you are a fan of Parisian Walkways, the song Gary Moore, then just make sure that you have that vote, or have your vote counted in that poll, because at the moment it's going to be I Just Died in Your Arms. We're going to be calling that to a close probably in 10 minutes, so get those votes in. And Kim donated £10 as well, so thank you for that, Kim. And there's a straight up donation, and there's another donation that's come through, and this is £5 from Sid. So thank you for this, Sid. And there's nothing on the screen, just says donation received, but I can see that it is Sid's email address. So thank you for that. And just scrolling up, because Karen has donated £4 and 24 pence. So thank you for this, Karen. And I'm just going to scroll down, because the message is, "Hi Phil, thanks for sharing your photos with Billy Idol and Steve Stevens. It's rewarding to see musicians connect. Just curious, would you consider doing song lyric analysis? I'm asking because I've read analyses on Billy's Eyes Without a Face. Love all you do, and that you're you. Cheers, Karen." So thank you for that, Karen. And that's another thing about going to see Billy Idol live, is that he will give you the background behind songs, and he did that especially on the new EP, talking about, Running from the Ghost, for example, talking about the ghost being, his past and his well-known past with, addiction, and that it's always, it's actually great to hear him, talk between the songs, because he's had such a long journey, quite literally, just talking about his career and the fact that, he's still playing live and still, playing quite a hectic schedule in terms of gigs and doing world tours, but quite a journey musically but personally as well. So it's great to hear him talk about the meaning behind songs such as Running from the Ghost. So yeah, it's great to hear that. But yeah, I'm not sure whether I'd do lyrical analysis videos, because you're just literally looking at words, and myself, I like to listen to other singers and bands, with guitar players, and listen to the live performances as well, and the interaction between band members, and just something that I think will help more practically for musicians who might not be doing it professionally, but they might want to do it professionally, or they might just want to improve their ability on stage, and they might even be a cover band, but they want to improve at playing in front of an audience. So I really think that I would focus more on doing the analysis videos as I do them. So just focusing on the band dynamic, and things to look out for with great guitar players, what they do and how they apply what they know to then playing live, and also vocally for great vocalists, what they do live, and sometimes having to change the way that you sing live and not put in as much effort, because you want to make sure that you can do your whole tour without burning your voice out, or belting and chest voice too much. So yeah, all of these things are things that I do like to have a look at with live performances, but also point out for people if they're wanting to get a little bit better at live performances themselves. But thank you for that, Karen. And just scrolling up, because Joan has donated £100. So thank you, Joan, for that. A very kind donation indeed. And the message is, we do have a message I can see underneath this, and it says, Phil, how great is that to be recognised by Billy Idol and to receive such a compliment on your guitar playing from Steve. So thank you for that, Joan. And yeah, it is amazing, fantastic. And I think, something that I said to Carla, Carla over on Facebook, and big shout out to the moderators, by the way, in that live chat room for doing such a fantastic job. But just as I mentioned Carla there, because she was saying about it, being surreal or being a little bit unbelievable, and I would agree with that, because I don't really take it in. But I think it's because being a musician myself, and having, as you guys will know with the real life stories, having played so many gigs, and some quite big gigs, and in quite big venues, I have the point of view of being a musician. And when I'm looking at Steve, play on stage, I'm listening to his guitar playing, but I'm also appreciating what he's doing as a musician and as a guitar player myself. Same thing with Billy when he's singing, that I appreciate from a vocalist standpoint, because I learned to sing from scratch. I know that it's very difficult. So I can appreciate it on those kinds of levels. But I think if I was looking at it like a fan, then it would be really strange. And maybe I know that people that are fans of bands and have been fans of bands for a very long time, they might get nervous meeting particular artists and musicians. But I think it's probably fortunate that I have a little bit of a background in that, so that I can talk to them as musicians, because they're just normal people. And I think that's something that maybe people forget, that they might be famous, but they've just done exactly the same that you've done. Steve has just practiced his guitar, he's sat down, he's worked at techniques, he's done what everybody did when they learned to play when they were younger, just sitting in their room, just working at playing as much as they can, and then getting in a band and trying the best you can to try and get somewhere, to get recognised. So everybody's been through that. All the musicians have been through that. So I think musicians can relate to that. But still, if I then kind of separate everything, if I'd said to myself, 5 years ago, that I'd be in this situation where I would be on, chatting terms with guys like Steve Stevens, being invited down to, having Steve on the channel, but being invited down to watch them live and getting to chat to them after the gig, being invited down to, also Buck Dharma. They recently played, I think it was actually the next day, they recently played at the O2, and that's Blue Oyster Cult, and, I've been lucky enough to be invited by Buck down in the past. Buck's been on the channel. Frank Marino as well, Mahogany Rush. He was on the channel as well. And he was, watching the channel very early on. So I've been, very fortunate to actually have June Millington as well. I'm going to keep on naming names. But this is this crazy thing that I can start going through and name these names of people that have been on the channel that I've interacted with, and I'm, just a message away from over the last few years. So yeah, it is a little bit surreal. It is a bit crazy, but this is it. I mean, it's great as well that they have interacted with the channel, but it's great that you guys interact with the channel as well. So it's just that we're normal people. Everyone's just a normal person. So even if, Billy Idol or Steve Stevens are watching the channel, they're just watching like everyone else is watching. And, thankfully, they must get something out of the videos, and hopefully you guys get something out of the videos as well. And as I've always said, if there are constantly requests coming through, I will constantly keep making the videos. And, I do get an occasional comment now and again where people don't know my background and they don't realise, actually, somebody commented yesterday saying, why do you feel that you need to analyse artists? Just leave them as they are and appreciate what they do without analysing it. And I appreciate that point of view, but I'm asked to do analysis videos given my background as a professional musician. So if people keep asking me to do analysis videos, say for example there's a singer who says, I'm learning to sing, there's a technique that I can't get the hang of, but I love the way that this particular singer sings. So can you do an analysis to help me understand how to get closer or what I need to work on? If somebody asks me that, I'm going to do an analysis video and I'm going to point out the things about that vocalist to help another vocalist with their singing and their approach. I'm not just, watching a video and then saying, oh, wow, that's amazing, that's great, and then stopping. It's an analysis for a reason, because somebody has requested it. So I'm going to use the knowledge that I've attained over the last however many years, probably 20 plus years. And I mean, that's with guitar, and probably, getting close to 12, 13 years, something like that, vocally. So I'm going to apply everything that I know in order to point out what I can to help that person. So I know that, if you just want to listen to a song, the link is always in the description. You can do that. You can listen to it in isolation. But when we get into the analysis videos, we are going to be looking at things in detail, because that's what an analysis is. It's a detailed look at whatever the subject material is. So that's what I do with the videos, whether it be a performance that has guitar in there which you break down, or vocals. So this isn't something that I'm not just going to sit down and watch a performance and just say it's great, because I mean, if it is great, I will say that it's great, but I will say why it's great, because anybody can just say that they like something, but that doesn't help anybody. And when you are a singer or a guitarist, there are guitarists and singers that you listen to, that you analyze. And that's what every single video that I've done on singers and great singers, they have analyzed their favorite singers how I do. We've got a lot more technology now, but they've just listened to their favorite singers and tried to imitate and try to break down what their favorite singers are doing through analysis. So that's exactly what we do on the channel, and hopefully fans of the music find it interesting, but it's also hopefully making people better singers and better guitar players and just better musicians all around, whether they're professionals or not. So that's the reason for them. I just thought I'd mention that particular comment because it popped up in my head. I just remembered it. But thank you, Joan, for that donation. And we have another one from Steve. I'm just waiting for this message to come up. And here we have it. So the message is, what are the different types of acoustic guitar strings? How do you decide which ones to use? So thank you for that, Steve. And I mean, you could get into the makes of strings, you've got D'Addario and Martin, Ernie Ball. So getting into the strings, I mean, Ernie Ball, that's what I use on my electric guitar. But if we're talking about just acoustic guitar strings, again, I've used D'Addario in the past, and Martin is what I tend to lean towards, just because I feel, that there's a slightly better tone, or when I say a better tone, it's all subjective. I just like the roundness of the tone that you get from the Martin strings. So obviously it depends what make you want to go for, but whichever make you're going for, you're then going to have the gauge of string, which is just the weight, or I mean technically it's the width of the string. So the thicker the strings are, the higher the number's going to be. So I always say about on electric guitars, you know, you can have either 10s or 9s, and this is what they're referred to as basically the diameter of the string on the high E string. When you say that you play 9s, it means that your highest string is 9, you know, or, you know, is it, I'm not sure, even 0.09 of a millimeter is something that is really thin. I have to, look that up. But anyway, I'm so used to just calling them 9s and 10s. That's telling you the diameter of the string. But anyway, not to get too technical with it. Just if you look for 9s, that actually the Ernie Ball Super Slinkies is what they're called in the pink packet. But that's for electric guitar. That's what I use. And you can get 8s as well. And I think you can get 7s, but I've never played 7s before. So, yeah, if you're looking at the strings on acoustic guitar, I say that if you're learning to play the acoustic guitar, always go for the lightest strings that you can, because it's going to make the guitar easier to play. It's not going to hurt your fingers as much. I think a lot of people make the mistake of picking an acoustic guitar from the wall in the guitar shop. They start playing it, they get it home, and they realize that their fingers are really hurting because the strings are just too thick. So, I can see that 58 Marine says 0.009, so thank you for that. But what I want to know is the measurement, whether it's, I mean, it's got to probably be inches rather. I don't know if I said millimeters, maybe. That's why I said 0.09 of a millimeter, because I don't know. But anyway, 0.009 of an inch, maybe that's something that, or Charlie's going through saying, 009 as well. But anyway, and Scott just says 0.009 inches. So yeah, we were right with the inches. Anyway, so we say about having 9s. So that's what that refers to. So a set of 9s is that high E string. So anyway, back to the acoustic guitar, because I would say that if you can get 10s on your acoustic guitar, it means it's going to make them more playable, especially if you're learning to play. But then again, even when you've been playing for years, like I will put 10s on my acoustic guitars because of the playability. It might mean that you have to change them a little bit more regularly to get that, you know, nice, bright, fresh sound from the strings. But I would rather it be easier to play. I mean, there's no point in making the guitar harder to play for yourself, especially if you're happy with the tone that you get for the strings. I mean, I've got smaller hands anyway, so I think lighter strings just suit me a little bit more. But yes, you have to make that decision yourself, because you can get, you know, 10s. You can also get 11s, which I have played in the past, which are okay. I do have one of my guitars. I think one of the Tanglewoods is, I think it's strung with 11s on there so that it lasts for longer. Anyway, yeah, so what I was saying about having the guitar from the wall, you get the guitar, you start playing it, you take it home, and then you realize that your fingers hurt. Well, you have to wait for your fingers. They will naturally firm up the ends of your fingers when you start playing the guitar more. But make sure that you've got lighter strings, because in guitar shops, they will put on their heaviest strings possible because they don't want to have to keep changing the strings on the guitars that are on the walls. So they'll be ridiculously heavy, so they will be difficult to push down and difficult to play. So if you have bought a guitar from a guitar shop, just restring it. Make sure you buy, you know, a nice set of 10s. Martins, you know, get 10s and you'll be fine. It'll be easier to play for you. But yeah, you can go for 11s or 12s or 13s. You know, if you've got really big hands, then, you know, and really thick fingers, you might need a heavier gauge of strings. It's all about just experimenting yourself with the gauge of string that is best for you. But yeah, it's all about what you want yourself for your genetics, your size and strength of hand, and also the playability. You just have to measure these things off each other. But thank you for that, Steve. And Jennifer has donated $5. Thank you for that in the super chat window. And the message is, of all the songs you learn to play with guitar, keys, drums and bass. Which cover took you the longest to learn? Thanks. So thank you for that, Jennifer. And I don't really have an answer for this because all I know is that I was always doing the covers in the same time period. So it wasn't that because I was releasing a new one every month, it wasn't like one took me so long that I couldn't release it. So they all took pretty much the same amount of time. And I'm trying to think, probably the ones that were a little bit more technical or maybe took a little bit more practice on guitar would have been either the Dokken ones, the Van Halen as well, Eddie Van Halen, Eruption. That took a bit of rehearsal, but I still recorded it in the same time frame as I normally would because back then I was teaching guitar and had to fit it inside or outside of my teaching hours, so I just had that set amount of time and just did a new one of those every month. So there wasn't one that has taken loads of time that I can remember. I'm trying to think of Hotel California was quite involved, I think. Actually, In My Dreams by Dokken was quite involved because of the backing vocals as well. But I mean, Hotel California, again, that was a case of just sitting down, listening to the solos, and it's quite an extended solo at the end. So I listened to that solo and just tried to get it down as closely as I could, trying to hear in detail what I can hear. And this is the other thing, that with those particular cover videos, I always listen to the guitar solos myself because more often than not, people on the internet can't be trusted. And they'll be playing a particular solo and they won't get it exactly right. There'll be a particular note or few notes that they don't actually get right. So I like to listen to it myself to make sure that the version that I'm doing is the closest that I can hear within the time period that I have to make the cover video. Because I'm not sitting down for weeks and months working out solos. I'm just having a listen through, seeing what I can hear, and then just learning how to play what I think I can hear. But anyway, thank you for that, Jennifer. And Michael has donated $10 as well. Thank you for that, Michael, in the super chat window. The message is, what is the etiquette about a musician turning down a tip? I thought it was kind of rude. So thank you for that, Michael. And this is it's a difficult one because my own personal my view of this has changed over the years, because I think as musicians, and any musician, you kind of feel bad for receiving money or having people donate to you for your music, because you see your music as something that's creative to you and you would create it anyway. You don't need people to pay you for it. But when you then look slightly further on from that, I think that was my view very early on. But, of course, if you're doing busking, that's the whole point of busking, is that people give you a tip because they want to give you that. And the view that I had as I moved forward was that, first of all, you've got to face the harsh reality that it's got to be financially viable. If you have a business, if you want to do something full time, it is a business. So you've got to see your music as that. You've got to set up a website. You've got to have a way that people can pay for your album and a way that you can send it off to them, and that's something that I then set up, and I did that, and I tried to get people, to listen to my music and maybe buy an album. But the other thing is, receiving support, for me, it changed over the years, because there were some people that, like I say on these live streams, you don't have to donate, but some people really do want to support you or support what you do. And I kind of flipped it round and thought that there are musicians that I really like and I want to support. But if they then said to me, no, I'm not accepting your support, I would feel a little bit like, but it's my choice. I want to do this. So you're effectively taking away the voice or the support that somebody wants to give. And once I started seeing it that way around, then I thought, well, yeah, if I'm a fan of music and I want to try and actually support somebody and help them, and then they actually effectively told me to go and stick it somewhere, then I wouldn't see it the same way. I think, but I actually want to help. So you kind of take away that person's voice. So I mean, that was probably the two things of the way that I changed seeing it, was that I realized I have to look at this more seriously as being financially viable, because it's not going to be possible unless I treat it as a business. And if people want to donate to what I'm doing, I mean, that is great, and I should be able to allow them to have their voice. If they, if it's free will, if they want to do that, who am I to tell them not to do it? I know that I do say here that you don't have to donate, but if you want to, then that is up to you. Everybody on this earth has the same choice, their own decisions that they want to make, and I don't think anybody should be able to dictate to somebody what they can and what they can't do in their lives. So yeah, I think my viewpoint as a musician has changed over the years, but I think it's just become a little bit more, I don't know, expanded in terms of my outlook of everything, and seeing it from another point of view as well certainly helped. But being an independent musician as well, I think it helps me, because I know that, yeah, to be independent, it's a lot of work, but it is possible, and it has to be set up like a business in order for that to even happen in the first place. And you've got to have people support. So again, massive shout out to you guys for all of your support and for joining me on these live streams as well. I always say it about, it's great to interact with you guys in a live setting, and I will always be here on a Saturday night and a Tuesday night to see you guys in the live chat room. So thank you. Oh, by the way, 491 likes for tonight. So things have been going crazy. So thank you guys for all of those likes. I mean, that is fantastic. You can keep on hitting that thumbs up if you want to. Every single thumbs up helps. And Kathy donated $10 in that live chat room as well, or the super chat room. So thank you for that, Kathy. It was a straight up donation. So let's have a look into tonight's cover video. It looks like I Just Died in Your Arms is going to be the winner. Let's end the poll and get the official result. It'll look like it was 55% of the vote, and it was. So thank you guys for voting for that. 384 votes for that. So a lot of people getting involved in tonight's cover video. Right, I hope you guys enjoy this. It's going to be my version of it, of course, and I'll see you guys after. Rock!
I just died in your arms tonight. Must have been something you said. I just died in your arms tonight. I keep looking for something I can't get. But broken hearts lie all around me, and I don't see an easy way to get out of this. The diary sits by the bedside table. The curtains are closed. The cat's in a cradle. Who'd have thought that a boy like me could come to this? Whoa, I just died in your arms tonight. Must have been something you said. I just died in your arms tonight. Whoa, I just died in your arms tonight.
And there we have it. That was my version of I Just Died in Your Arms by Cutting Crew, of course. And what a classic track that is. So thank you guys for voting for that one. Tonight we are going to be jumping into tonight's pick roulette because things are moving along. Actually, before we do, there have been a couple of donations, and Kathy donated $2 again in that super chat window. So thank you for that, Kathy. And Michael donated $10 again, so thank you for that, Michael. And the message is, great answer, Phil, thanks. I shouted out, Dance of the Andes Queen, which does not exist. And she did it. Fantastic. So thank you for that, Michael. And I'm not entirely sure what that refers to, but thank you for that donation. And just quickly jumping over into that PayPal donations window, let's get that up on screen because I can see another one came in from Joe, who donated £15. Thank you for that, Joe. And the message is, hi Phil, interested in your take on whether listening to music has become a less social activity with more people using streamed or download services, which seems to lend itself to solitary listening via smartphone, tablet, PC, as opposed to getting together with friends to listen to an album or CD. Cheers. So thank you for that, Joe. And, well, yeah, complicated question, but certainly nowadays you can listen to music whenever you want to, and yeah, more often than not, you're not going to be with your friends, so you're just listening to it by yourself. And I think actually nowadays, going and watching a live show is, giving you an experience that isn't something that's as common as it used to be, because people would always go out and watch bands, and people would obviously buy the albums, but they would go out with their friends and watch bands. And nowadays, I mean, especially with the whole COVID thing, people would have to stream over the internet, so you'd be watching it together but independently, just watching it on a computer screen. So I think that still there's such a massive market for actually getting out there and playing live and just bringing everybody together in a venue that thankfully now is possible, but certainly had to go on hold for quite a while with COVID. But, it's difficult. I think it's just the nature of technology that now everything is at your fingertips. I remember when I was younger, if you wanted to watch a movie, you'd have to go to the cinema, of course, but if you wanted to watch a movie, you'd go to Blockbuster and you would have to pick a movie from the shelves. And even that was a social thing. You might go with your friends to go to Blockbuster to pick out a movie that you're going to watch. So I think back in the day, the connectivity that wasn't possible through the internet was achieved by actually doing it in real life. So it goes for every single walk of life, every industry. Back in the day, it was a lot more sociable, and nowadays it's just a lot more separated. But fortunately, things like the cinema and live gigs, they all still exist, so they are still possible for everyone to get together. And as you guys have said on the channel, and I've said about doing Guffest in the future, it will be amazing for us all to get together, because it's great that we can get involved here on the internet in a live setting, but it would be amazing if at some point we could all get together at an event. And this is something that I said in the past about the best way for me. I have said that some people say, oh, I'm going to be here or I'm going to be in England on that particular day. I can't go out and travel to different places to meet people, because some people might say on the same day. I'm going to be in Liverpool, which is the other side, the whole other end of the country, by the way. And another person might say, oh, I'm going to be in Wales. And I say, I can't travel out. But if there's an event where we can all go to the same place, then that's going to be obviously a lot easier. So yeah, I think that's why people are getting a bit excited about Kevin joining me on Wednesday night. But unfortunately, yes, that wasn't something that was going to happen. But it would be great, to meet up at a particular event, ideally Guffest in the future. But thank you for that, Joe. And Stephanie has donated £50 as well, so thank you, Stephanie, for that. And I'm going to scroll down because there is a message with this, and the message is, so great to see you get nods from fellow musicians. Congrats on that. Love your videos. Keep on keeping on. So thank you for that, Stephanie, and I will indeed keep on keeping on. And by the way, if you want to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell as well to get notified for every video on the channel in the future, for these live streams as well, but the analysis videos and any other videos that might be happening in the future, whether I'm at an event and I might be able to do a live stream or not. I know that, yeah, if you hit that notification bell, it really does help to get notified, obviously, for all of the videos. So make sure that you click on that. So I can see actually there's been some more donations, so thank you guys for these. And Karen's donated £4.24. Thank you for that. And I know that we're 1:10 here in the morning, so I'm going to have to be quick with these. Hi Phil, perhaps this might be of some interest. Some professional wrestlers are musicians. Hulk Hogan played the bass guitar before he was a pro wrestler. I guess it helps to have big hands. Laugh out loud. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that. And yeah, you'll find that, you know, there are loads of professional, well, not just wrestlers, but professionals, you know, presenters and actors and loads of people who have been musicians in the past, or at least they've wanted to be musicians, so they spent quite a lot of time, you know, perfecting or playing an instrument to a high level, but then they get into something else, such as, yeah, acting or presenting, and then they've still got this hobby. So yeah, you'll find that there are so many actors and people that do play guitar or sing, and yeah, I mean, maybe in the future, obviously, they might be on the channel. You never know, but it's obvious that I think that's quite a way in the future, but we will see. So thank you for that, Karen. And Drew has donated £21.21. So thank you for that, Drew. And that is a straight up donation without a message. And Sue has donated £15 as well. So thank you for that, Sue. And that's another straight up donation. And Joel has donated £84.84. So thank you for that, Joel. And the lesson, the message is a guitar lesson for someone in need. So thank you for that, Joel, and I'm not sure whether that's a guitar lesson for me, but thank you for that donation. And unfortunately, yeah, I don't have time to teach guitar. Currently, it's not something that I can do because, yeah, I'm still doing everything myself, single-handedly, with everything, with my music, as I've mentioned today about sending off the albums that have been ordered. They're slightly delayed. So yeah, I don't have time to do the teaching. I just have the time to do the admin of my own music and getting it sent out there. So if that was a donation for a guitar lesson, then I can refund that. Don't worry about it. Just let me know. You can message me at wingsofpegasus@hotmail.com and I'll look out for that email and we can get that reversed. But thank you, Joel, for that. Regardless, you know, we can just sort out exactly what that was for and don't worry about it at all. Right, we are going to be jumping into tonight's pick roulette. So good luck, everybody. I haven't picked a top tip tonight, so I'm going to do that on the fly when the wheel is on screen. So let's jump into it and good luck, everybody. Rock! So let's get the wheel up on screen, and there it is. So if this is your first pick roulette and you don't know what this is all about, we spin the wheel, and this is because we hit the pick roulette likes goal last week. So we then get the entries, and the entries for next week's pick roulette wheel aren't open yet. They'll be after this, so stay tuned. But we have the darker segments here. If we land on one of those, it'll be a t-shirt that you can win, but we will land on somebody who's going to be going away with a Wings of Pegasus pick in the middle of the wheel. So we're going to give the wheel a spin. Actually, let me pick somebody. Tom is the top pick for tonight. So Tom Rich, was that, I think? So let me just make a note. We haven't actually ever landed on a top tip before. I've got a 0% winning record, but we were very close a couple of weeks ago, I do believe. So we're looking out for Tom's name, and there it is, but it goes past. So I maintain that record, and we are slowing down. I don't think it's going to get as far as that t-shirt. It might do. I don't think so. So it's slowing down. Is it going to be D or Susan? It's going to be close between, and it is D who is the winner of tonight's signed Wings of Pegasus pick. So congratulations to you, D. Commiserations to Tom, the top tip for tonight, but also commiserations to everybody else who didn't win tonight. But D, if you can let yourself be known in that live chat room to Carla, that would be much appreciated so that she can get everything that she needs from you to get that signed Wings of Pegasus pick sent off to you. And I always say you have to be in it to win it, so make sure that you're in the live chat room if your name pops up, if you're lucky enough to win. And if you want to double your chances of winning, make sure that you tune in to the live streams on Tuesday nights as well as Saturday nights. Same time, same place, 12 midnight, and that's British summertime. And I know that it's, getting towards, autumn? We're getting towards, totally losing track of where we are. I was going to say winter, but yeah, not summertime anymore, but summertime officially ends here on the 30th of October, I believe. So we've got another week, so you still have to, know that in order to get your times correct. So anyway, congratulations, D. We're now going to be getting rid of that wheel and getting everything back up on screen. Right, the entries are now open for next week's Pick Roulette wheel. So if you are watching, if you're in that live chat room, this is what you have to do to get your name on the wheel. You have to tag Carla Murray in your post and type I agree, exclamation mark, like that. And you can just copy what I've done in that live chat room. It's about to go through. Hopefully you guys can see it go through. And I think it just went through there. But you'll be able to see everybody typing I agree and tagging Carla in their comment. As long as you do that and just do it once, you will have your name on next week's Pick Roulette wheel. So next Saturday night or Saturday morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it is where you are, where we go live, just make sure you're tuned in and then you can go away with the signed Wings of Pegasus pick. So that's how it works. Now, generally we do something to leave a little bit of time for you guys to enter in for the Pick Roulette. We either have a filled tune or a real life story, the cartoons that we have, or we have a riff of the week. And I think because we're a little bit late here tonight, what I'm going to do is jump into probably a riff of the week. And as most viewers, regular viewers will know how it works, but just in case you don't know, we have 100 riffs and we pick a riff between 1 and 100 and we have a listen to it and you just have to see if you can guess it. And generally, I mean, it's not really a race, but I look out for the people that guess it first and just who knows the particular riff that I have played. So what we're going to be doing is jumping into the inbox that I need to try and find. So let me get rid of that. And we had... I've got to try and find Laura's email here somewhere. And, I think I actually opened this, so it's the wrong color. Okay, right. Sometimes I don't open up the email so it's in bold so I can find it straight away, but I opened it up so it wasn't in bold, but I have now found it. So I'm now looking at numbers in the live chat room. You guys have beaten me to it. You know how we roll. So make sure that you still enter in for next week's Pick Roulette in the live chat room. So type I agree, tag Carla Murray, as you can see that C. Anna Cliffords is about to do through there. So do that. Right, let's have a look at some of the numbers. Fred says number 59, so let me pick that out and see if we've had number 59. 59 was poisoned, so we've already had that. Okay, another random number. Linda says 98. I think... Oh, I was going to say, I think we've had some 90s. We've had 4 in the 90s, but 98 is not one we've had yet. So let me go to my channel and type in riff of the week. What do we just say? 98 riff of the week. 98 would help if I could type. Right, there it is. Let me click on that, stop it from playing so that we don't get a preview. Right, okay, let me get rid of that. I have to now do the screen grab because I have to do this all while talking on the live stream. I don't set this all up beforehand because it's impossible with everything that I've got on the screen. I run out of space. Anyway, we are going to actually get this up on screen. I wonder if I get the background there. Wow, look at this. We've actually progressed from having it on the screen and me in the background to now having it large on the screen, which is great. Right, so listen out for this riff and we'll see who can listen. Well, everybody can listen to it, but who can spot what this riff is? We're looking for the song. You can name the band if you want to as well. But here we go. Here it is. Let's have a listen and see what it is. It's an easy one. And there we have it. This is going to be so straightforward. I'm having a look into that live chat room and let me see. Pamela says Rainbow Riff and it's going through too quickly. Steve I think said Free Bird. Carl says Free Bird and Kim, let me go up. Let me have a look at that because Kim said Immigrant Song and let me just see if anybody else got it up before. No, nobody got it earlier than that. Okay, so Kim said Immigrant Song. So congratulations to you, Kim, and Get Some J said Immigrant's Song. Getting Led Zeppelin here as well, so everyone's along the right lines. Immigrant Song by Dwayne as well, and Deborah, and it just went all the way down to the bottom there. So yes, lots of these guesses coming through. It's one of those riffs that I think everybody, I mean your ear, or I should say that your mind can't help but kind of go, have that vocal over the top, just that crazy vocal. But anyway, yes, scrolling down, Eric said Immigrant Song, Karen as well, Joe, Nora, look at all of these all in a row, Led Zepp, Sarah as well. So congratulations, Susan and Dennis got it in there as well, Karen got it. So yeah, congratulations to everybody that was in the live chat room with those correct answers. So let me see if I can now get this off screen and go back to me. Here we are. So that worked, and I could see that. Were there some guesses that were other Led Zeppelin songs? Probably, but yeah, we did have some correct ones in there. I think as soon as you hear that riff, I think pretty much with every Led Zepp riff that there is, you just hear it and you know it instantly. So yeah. That was an easy riff of the week for tonight, and we are going to be calling things to a close now. I'm just going to make sure that everything is up to date over in that PayPal donations window, which it is, and in the Super Chat window as well. So thank you guys for joining me tonight, for hitting that thumbs up, and a quick plug of the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook. Head over there for the after party with Vince. And yeah, if you're watching this in the future on Catch Up, you're part of the Catch Up crew, you can keep on hitting that thumbs up because it really does help this live stream to get out there and for the channel to grow. But 572 likes for tonight. So that is, a crazy amount of likes, but it's great. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight, and I will see you at another analysis video tomorrow night, and we're going to be live streaming on Tuesday night as well. So tune in same time, same place for Tuesday night's live stream, and analysis videos on Wednesdays and Fridays as well, as always. So have a fantastic rest of the weekend. Big shout out to the moderators for doing such a fantastic job, not only on tonight's live stream, but for all of the live streams. And thank you guys so much for dedicating all of your time to the live streams. And Orlando, thank you for that $2 donation that just came through saying, take care, Phil, and everyone with a wave. So thank you for joining me. As I always say, try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live, and I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock!